So when a company like IndieWire prints this poster, yeah, that, saying that this movie is absolutely bleeping insane, you know that you're in for a really, really full-on treat, especially for a movie like this. Wow. So let's talk about it, hey? Let's roll that synopsis. Let's roll some cast, my introduction, and let's talk about this insane, by IndieWire, new movie called The Substance. Let's talk about it. See you soon. The Substance 2024 synopsis. A fading celebrity decides to use a black market drug, a cell-replacing substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself. And the cast for The Substance is Margaret Qualley, who plays the character of Sue, Demi Moore, who plays the character of Elizabeth Sparkle, Dennis Quaid, who plays Harvey. And the director of The Substance is Coralie Fargeet. Hey guys, and welcome to my new movie review. So good for you to be here. I really appreciate you clicking this link for my review on The Substance. And yeah, guys, if you've seen the trailer for this movie, straight out of the gate, I'm going to tell you this. They don't warn you in any way, shape, or form to any degree whatsoever for the caliber and intensity that the end of this movie brings to any degree at all. They don't prepare you for it. They really don't prepare you for it. This movie is hardcore. Now, in a funny way, there's beauty to this movie that is so visually pleasant, especially for males. And the elements of those pleasant moments are really, really complemented by the end of this movie in the worst way you could possibly imagine. And you're like, wait, what are you talking about? When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Seriously. Anyway, guys, I apologize for this, but welcome to my new movie review, guys. Those of you who are new to my channel, a massive, massive, massive welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you clicking on this link. And for those of you who have been following my channel for a period of time, welcome back. So good for you to be here. Thank you so much for clicking this link and watching my review on The Substance. And for those of you who are new, I just want to give you the quick heads up. And those of you who have watched my movie reviews for many a time, I apologize, but I like to tell my new viewers about this because I know it's like repeating myself over and over, but it's just not fair to not tell new people about this sort of stuff because, you know, you kind of need to know this sort of stuff. I don't do spoilers, guys, in my movie reviews. That's right. No spoilers at all in my movie reviews because, in my personal opinion, guys, spoilers aren't fair. When I personally talk about a scene in a movie, I talk about it contextually so that when you personally go and see it, you know what I'm talking about when you go and see it. And those of you who have already seen this movie, when I talk about the scene contextually, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. The end of this film, guys, it's hardcore. Now, as you heard in the synopsis of this film, the introduction to this review, it is exactly what it is. The title and the synopsis really do paint a picture of what this movie is about. Now, they really tried to, at the beginning of the film, make this movie so pleasing, really, really fascinatingly pleasing visually to the audience. Now, to say that this movie has stood to its its elements of the visuality of bringing a movie to grotesque visual, gut-wrenching, just nightmare-inspiring visual effects, then this movie has done its job in tropes. Because the ending of this movie is so visually disturbing that even I do not care about stuff like that, because I know it's all Hollywood, I know it's all fake, I know it's all unreal. But this movie brought it on a level that I have never, ever experienced in a scene before. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple of movies right now, guys, that I really feel that this movie gives a beautiful nod to, and it's very, very old movies. And I'll start with this one, the 1980 film, The Elephant Man. Now, if you've seen this movie, you'll know exactly what I'm going to talk about. And those of you who haven't seen this movie, it's a 1980s film, okay? So just brace yourselves. For its time, this movie was really, really hard palated to watch. And I don't know if I even remember if it was that, if it still is that bad if you saw it today. However, seeing it back then, and this movie came out before I was born, it is hardcore. And those of you who don't know, this is a massive surprise to me. Anthony Hopkins is actually in that movie, so he would have been very, very young in that movie. But yeah, he's in The Elephant Man. And another movie that I want to talk about in terms of grotesque, that this movie, The Substance, really gives a massive nod to, is the 1986 movie, The Fly. Now, the thing that is fascinating about this movie is this stars Jeff Goldblum, and again, a very, 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 very young Jeff Goldblum. And The Substance, in its core gore elements of this movie, brings the visual gore factor to a whole new level. Now, I don't know really, because of the fact that I haven't seen it in many years, if I would say that The Substance gore elements are as heavy as The Fly, because what I remember of The Fly was really, really hardcore. Like really, especially for, you know, how young I was when I saw that movie. The fact that my parents let me see that movie is pretty messed up, but I love my parents so much. And that's why that I feel that The Substance, the visual, and I mean, okay, we're talking about a movie that's filmed today, you know, the highest quality in film, in cinema history, all right? I mean, we're talking about visual artists that practically have brought something to the screen that, you know, that have designed this to be so visually gut-wrenching for us as the audience that you feel queasy. And that is when, you know, you could say that they've done their job. They have done their job. They've done what they have planned to do all along. Now, I just want to, I know this is kind of random, but it's not really random because it talks about the movie, but I just want to talk about something really random, kind of side, you know, going off the topic of grotesqueness, is the opening of this movie, the very, very opening sequence of this movie. And I remember watching the opening of it, and like, obviously because I just watched it, but I remember thinking to myself while I was watching it, what it was that it was trying to express and explain to us as the audience. When you see it, I believe that you'll understand it immediately. When you see it, you'll get it immediately. However, You might not. And the reason why I say you might not is because after I have now seen the film, the opening for me makes sense. But when the opening opened and I was watching this and I'm like, what has that got to do with anything? And it's really, it's very, very symbolic. It's very symbolic of a way of birthing in today's methodology and science and chemistry and however you want to call that. In my personal opinion, it's like playing God, but I'm not going to go there. It's very reminiscent of that. And in a way, they're trying to paint a picture to us as the audience that you mess with substances and it's not actually always going to turn out the way you think. And this movie really, 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 really grotesquely nods to that. Now, why it ends the way it ends is because it's very similar to when an quote-unquote unattractive person, and when I say unattractive person, I'm saying that as in not a visually unattractive person, visually on the outside, but unattractive on the inside, as in you're a person who is just mean and horrible and all about themselves, and someone who is just so horrible as an individual, and a person who is so, so mean. They're just so about themselves that they don't care about anyone else as long as they're happy, as long as that's the type of beauty that this movie is alluding to. And it's fascinating to where they go in this film grotesquely, right? Because even though her become what it ends up being, it's still fascinating that they hold the identity of who she knows that she is and is so quote unquote comfortable in her own flesh to do what she has to do and what she's been, paid to do. When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. I know I'm being vague. I understand. I'm being vague. I'm deliberately being vague because I'm not spoiling anything. Now, I just want to tell you really quickly. No, not quickly. I want to tell you that I read on IMDb some very, 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 very interesting and very, very fascinating trivia about this movie. And when I saw the movie, I was like, I wonder if they used a body double. They probably used a body double. Yeah, they would have used a body double. They didn't use a body double. They did not use a body double. And I know you're thinking, what are you talking about, Steve? When you see it, you'll get it. Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley. I don't know how to pronounce that name exactly, but it doesn't matter. So the one who plays Sue and the actor who plays Elizabeth Sparkle, the shower scenes and all the scenes in the bathroom, the tiled bathroom, are legit. When you see it, you'll be like, nah, they are. Check out IMDb. They're real. That's her. And that's really her. It's her. 100%. And it's fascinating to read, because I was like, I wonder if that's like I said, I thought they used a body double. They didn't use a body double. That was legitimately her. That's crazy. And like even to the point where I don't even want to. You know what? I'm trying to say it contextually without giving anything away. but they didn't shy away from showing what they showed. I'll put it that I'll leave it at that. They didn't shy away of showing what they showed, and what they showed, what you see, is real. It's really her, and it's really her. Like, it's full them both. I really loved the element of this movie, and I know this is an unusual thing to talk about. Like, I know it is, but I really just found it fascinating. It probably was a green screen. However, it didn't look like a green screen at all. In fact, I don't think they used green screen at all for this movie. And if they did, I'm really fascinated to know where and how. But it didn't look like they did. And I'm talking about the location of where her apartment was, like the view that she got to look out on. I loved how awesome that view was. That view was absolutely spectacular. I mean, like, wow, that was beautiful. And speaking of the opposite of beautiful, one of the scenes in this movie that I was in my head, I literally thought to myself two things. The first thing I thought to myself is, I wonder how long it would have taken them to actually clean it up. And the second thing, when you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. When Elizabeth Sparkle, she goes, that, you know, her character does what she does, and then Sue is back. When you see, you know what I'm talking about. I know I'm being so vague, but you'll get it. The kitchen scene and the dining room scene, or not the dining room scene. It's not a dining room. The kitchen scene and like where the TV is, where the view is. How hardcore the mess is that she makes in those two scenes. Like, oh man, like, I'm serious, guys. It is dead set. Like, that would have taken, not only would it have taken ages to make, which maybe it would have, but I kind of feel it's almost like they deliberately had a massive party and went, we're going to specifically use these specific items in this party, right? And then with you know, the run on, we're going to leave it at that and then film the scene and then clean it. And that's honestly, that's what it looked like they did. And whether or not they did that exact thing, I don't know. But this movie is a very eye-opening movie. It's eye-opening. It speaks absolute volumes to today's world, today's society, to how young people see themselves and shouldn't see themselves. And one of the things that I'm really glad I thought about that. So Elizabeth Sparkles is in a restaurant and she's speaking to a guy, and this guy grabs her attention and they're having a random conversation, and she's like, oh, did you follow me? And he drops like a wallet, sort of wallety thing, and stuff falls down and credit cards fall down, and he's 502. I believe he's 502 or 503 card. When you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Those who've seen it, right? The 503. I think it's 503. His card falls on the ground. And I love that the director made a visual clue for us as audiences to go back to the start of the film where it all began. And when you see the young guy, and that's the dude in the restaurant. And I was like, who's that? And when they showed that, I really appreciated that from the director and the cinematographer and the editor's perspective, because it made us know who he was. Because without knowing that element of it, you wouldn't have known who that was. Oh, wait, was she 503? Whatever number he was in the restaurant. I apologize if that's wrong. Whatever number he was in the restaurant, the guy at the start in the doctor's office, that's him. Not the old guy, the young guy. That's him. That's awesome. That was a really, really, from the director's perspective, that was a fantastic nod. When the old guy goes, "Oh, a week feels like a long time." Hey, like it's outstanding. You guys are going to absolutely either love this movie, or you're going to get so many comments in the comment section saying, why would you talk about this movie, and why would you even tell people to go and see this movie? That's honestly, like I'm interested to see what the comments are for this movie when you see it, if you've seen it. And if you don't want to see it, I'm interested to know why. Because if you leave your comments in the comment section below, I always throw a comment back on my viewers. And I genuinely am curious, guys. I genuinely am curious to know your thoughts on The Substance. Like, seriously, did you find it as messed up as it is supposed to be? Did you find it visually pleasing as what it's given you? And did you understand the story to what it is actually supposed to be, what it's actually telling you, what it's literally intentionally speaking volumes about? Guys, that's all I have for you today. I really appreciate you, as always, coming and clicking on this link for The Substance. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for clicking this link. Please, if you'd be so kind, I would appreciate it so much. Like, subscribe, follow me, click the link, click the bell, click a heart, click the thumbs up. You know what to do. I really do value it so much, guys. You've been amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Seriously, so kind. So wonderful of you to be here. And until my next review, whatever that may be, I know what it is, but I'm not gonna tell you guys. You guys have to subscribe and click that bell for notifications, and then when I do drop my next review or whatever the video I do drop, your phone or device will be notified as soon as it comes through, and I appreciate that so much. I'm looking forward to giving you my next review. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being amazing, and thank you for your time. This is Superman Steve, appreciating you guys always and loving your time. Until next time, see you soon. Flying out!